Hi, I'm Liz from whoisthatmom.com. Today we're going to work on making bows. They're super simple to make and you can use them for many things, from wrapping gifts to putting them on wreaths to even decorating your mailbox before the holidays. A Fabergé bow has a loop in the center and many of these cute little rounds on the edge. Let's get started. For making bows, I prefer a long piece that is straight and not on a spool because it's easier to fold and then you don't have to try to straighten it out as you're going. You can get floral wire like this anywhere from Walmart to Joann's to Hobby Lobby and Michael's. You're also going to need ribbon. I prefer ribbon that has a floral wire edge to it. So you want wired ribbon. You'll know it's wired because you'll kink it and it'll stay. It's also easier if you have a ribbon that is double-sided, meaning if you turn it backwards, it's not going to look like something totally different. So if this is your first time making a bow, this is the best type of ribbon to be using. If you use a thinner ribbon, so if you look, these are two different sizes. This one is about 1.5 wide and this one is about 2.5 wide. If you use a ribbon that is a thinner ribbon in terms of the width, you're going to want to add more petals to this bow. Preferably, this bow should have 5 or 6 petals on both sides. For a bow like this, you could do 3 or you could go more from there. Today, we're going to make a 4-petal bow with a 2.5-inch wired ribbon. Your first step is to take your ribbon. You want to pull a little bit of it out. I'm leaving it on the spool so nothing happens. It's not going to go rolling off, so I'm going to set it flat. And I'm going to curl it and make a circle, just like this. I'm going to bend it up just a little bit, and you can see that the inside of the edge is right here. You can always make this piece smaller later, so you're fine leaving it large to start. And you want to follow the direction that the ribbon is going. So currently, we have it looping this way and over. So I'm going to take it and hold it. Now I want to look at it and decide for the size of the center, is this big enough or is it too small? Now I am going to make my center just a little bit smaller. If it's your first time, you might want to make a larger center just because it's easier. I'm going to make it just a little tighter. There we go. And voila. So as you can see, it goes around on the inside, over and back. Now I'm going to take it and loop it right back over. I'm keeping the ribbon flat as I go, and I want to make sure that they're the same size on either side. Now I have the option of continuing to make these go bigger and then smaller or all the same size. I'm going to work to make sure that these are the same size, and I'm just going to make a big squiggly snake as I go with them. So here is one, and then I'm going to let off some more ribbon, and here is another, and then I'm going to fold it back, and there is another. And I'm just going to keep pulling it off of this spool. Here is another. So now I currently have 3 on all sides. I said I wanted to do a bow with 4, so I'm going to do my 4th. And you want to make sure that they're kind of all poofed to the same amount, because that'll let you know if they're going to lay evenly or not. So there. So I should have my center and my 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I look at it flat and I kind of flatten it out without kinking the ribbon, it'll all look like the edges hit about the same place. Now for the tail. Now I'm not letting go. You'll notice I'm holding in the middle, kind of like a clip, just like this the entire time. I'm going to take my ribbon and decide how long I want the tails to be. If you're doing it on a package, you might not need super long tails. I like a longer tail because I'm going to put this bow on a wreath, and maybe I'll bring a tail up on the side or along the bottom, or maybe they're just going to hang straight down, or I'll curl them. So your first step is to decide how long you want one of the tails to be. I'm going to make my tail about this long. So I'm going to bend this. So here's one tail. I'm not cutting it. I'm bringing the tail directly back up, and I'm going to grab it in with this chunk here. Does it look a little bit even? The side is a little bit longer, and that's exactly what we want. So if I hold this, I can see where I'm planning to cut it. I'm going to bring this piece back up. It does not need to be even or flat or perfect in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to bring it up. Now, where I want you to see that I'm bringing it back up is I'm looping it back around. So here's the middle. I'm going to bring this up and lay it over. So it kind of becomes a circle. So see, it goes out this way. It's gonna come up and lay across right here. And then I'm gonna grab it on. So when you look at it, here's the extra side, here is this piece right here. That looks about right. I'm taking my fingers here. I'm gonna kink this again, and now it's time for you to use your scissors. So you'll take your scissors. You do not have to make this a pretty cut because it's gonna be hidden. Perfect. Bringing it around in the loop, and I'm putting it, if you look carefully, you'll see that it's gonna go right past the circle. And it's gonna go right inside here. Now it's time for you to grab your piece of floral wire. I'm going to take my floral wire and I'm going to put it right in the middle, right inside here. And I'm gonna hold it up this way for all of you to see, but I normally do it towards myself so I can see what the bow will look like. With all of this centered, I'm going to fold this down and I'm gonna turn it so you all can see here on the back. Here's that tail of what I just cut. You can see it's gonna be covered by this wire. I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to pull this as tight as I can and bend these at basically a 90-degree angle each so they become a straight line, and I'm gonna twist to make it nice and tight. Once this is nice and tight, I can pull these straight. So here's the pick. Now it doesn't really look that great yet, right? This is where we're gonna start to make things look pretty. So the first thing you can do is pull this down, try to even it out, and decide exactly where you want your cut to be. Do you want your two to be uneven? Do you want them to be even? Do you want to cut them on an angle? Do you want them to have that little V, so you cut it in the shape of a W with a upside down V in it? For today, I'm just going to cut evenly. So I'm going to lay these across, pull this here, and snip. If it's not exactly everything you dreamed of, you can trim it later. I'm going to pull, if this is, you want to look to see which way your bow is hanging, and I want to pull these two pieces downwards. I'm not pulling anything out. Don't yank hard enough to make them lay out. So those two are hanging out. Now we can fluff out our bow. To fluff out the bow, make sure that these pieces are hidden inside of the front bump. And then I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to lift and separate each of these petals. exactly how you want the first time, and you can easily, because you haven't tied it or glued it, you can undo your wire and do it again. You can make the petals larger or smaller. You can even take cute little medallions and put something in the center. Maybe you hot glue a flower here, maybe you put a fake coin or a cute hat or a little bird. But there's lots of ways to make these very cute bows, and you can use them from anything from presents to wreaths to decorating your house. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. And if you don't currently follow my blog, please join us at whoisthatmom.com. Come join us for reviews, how-tos, and everything in between. Thanks so much for joining, and don't forget to subscribe.